Hi everyone, Redneck Computer Geek here. Apparently we're going tractor hunting and it wasn't exactly planned. Basically, I ended up finding this clam rake in all of my stuff. It's not mine. So, I decided to get on Facebook and I posted up an advertisement. About 30 minutes later, I ended up with some responses. So, let's go see what we can trade this clam rake for today. Tractor hunting via clam rake. Sweet. Alright, so here's what we got. For those of you that follow me on Instagram and follow my community tab on YouTube, chalk yourselves up a tractor hunting point if you said it was Weed Eater, judging from the spoiler shot. A really nice seat in really great condition. The rear tires are not so perfect, but they might hold air if we do a little work. It's obviously been swapped around a little bit because those match the rear tires, but these do not. These are what are usually on most of the Craftsman tractors and stuff. These are usually on Toros and some cheaper yard machines and things like that. So we'll see what we can do, try and pair them up. The other thing is this one here has a tube in it. You can see there's no outside lip or flange or anything on this. So this has a tube in it, which is good to know. And that one there is yet again one of those cheapy whatever tires. It is a 5-speed. It is an actual 5-speed. It's a shift on the side with linkage underneath. I'll see if I can get a picture of it. There we go. You can see that linkage rod that runs down in. It's most likely an MST. Most likely an MST 205. But it also could potentially have been a swapped in Peerless 930, but it looks too new to be a 930, so I'm going to bet it's a 205. So, it is a 13.5 horsepower. Oh, I wonder what motor is going to be in it. Alright, place your bets. 3, 2, 1... Presto! It is a Briggs 13.5 IC. Now these are the ones that you can get a factory pull start kit for. A lot of the mud mower guys have started looking for these because they do have a factory pull start that you can put on top. This panel here swaps out, or you can just drill it out on these holes in order to mount the factory pull start. But there we go. Let's get this thing off of here and see if it actually runs. It's a nice little nest there. I wonder what that is. I don't know. So here's a used deck buying tech tip. If you're buying a used deck and you're checking it, you want to make sure that you've got halfway decent blades. Those can be replaced. But what you really want to do is check that the spindle and the bearings are not bent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it up. Wedge it between my legs here and hold it. And then what you want to do, well, I've got the camera here holding it on top, is you want to sight down the side of the pulley while you rotate the blade from underneath. Can you see that? Let me come over here. So watch the tip of my thumb right there and watch the pulley. See how it comes across into the tip of my thumb? So that shaft is horrifically bent. But otherwise than that, not too bad. Actually, you know what I just noticed? That one, the spindle, is newer than that one. I wonder, can't get in here with my broken finger. There we go. Ah, right there. That one's broken. So that whole spindle assembly needs to be replaced. But there you go. That's my tech tip for checking on whether those are bent or not. Live dangerously, they said. What's the worst that could happen? You might break a bone, they said. Let's see if this thing will come off of here. See if the brakes work. If they don't, I'm going to probably clean out the camera. So, I guess we're going to find out. Actually, wait a minute. We can test the brakes. Okay, so the brakes do work. Alright. Oh! Okay! We made it! Alright, so we got our giant Adu booster pack on here. I'm going to drop the clutch. And let's see what it does. Well, it's at least something. That does not want to move. Oh, that's a horrible sound. Oh, there it goes. It's moving now. I wonder if it's got any oil in it. Yeah, got plenty of oil. Alright, well, let's try it again now that we got it moving. We'll sit here and move these electrical connections around a little bit, scratch it up a bit, and try it again. Alright, well, we'll set the brake, and we'll try the booster pack right straight across the starter. Well, it has gas in it, but it looks similar to the color of, like, apple juice. So, let's see what happens here. Apple juice gas across the starter. Okay, well, that's not moving. I guess we're going to pop the top off the motor and see what's going on with the starter. So in order to get one of these off, you do not have to take the air filter off, but I did just to see what kind of condition it's in. It's filthy, but it's not the worst I've seen. So, the last thing to do is take this oil piece out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, and this top should come off. Let's see what's going on. Oh, that is lovely. Well, that would certainly explain a few things. That is goopy and icky and holy mouse nest. Oh, snakeskin right there. Kids love that. Sometimes you can actually find the head and it's still got where the eyeballs actually scun out too. Alright, what's the chance the wire is actually still good under here, huh? Wow, looks like the wire survived. That coil is rusted to snot though. Well, we'll go throw this in the wood stove and then go from there. For the heck of it, we're going to see if we can recover this starter that's pretty darn seized at this point, but we'll see what we can do. So what I recommend is these. They're channel locks. This is IRWINs that have the lock-in piece so that once it's there, you can't move it around. You punch the button and you move it, and then it locks in. I'll post a link for these. I love them. They're totally worth the money. But the reason why I like these is because you can come down here on the metal top of the starter and you can rotate it around like so. And we can see that it's not seized. It's just kind of a little stuckered. So as it is right now, if we take and we clip off some positive on here and we give it a dab of negative, she shouldn't move. Whoops. Try that again. Positive, and just dab some negative. No love. No love. So, what we've done in the past a couple of times to revive some of these is if we take the two bolts and we back them out, and you want to watch where they're coming through down here, and you want to back them out to the point that you're not leaving that plate, you're just loosening it. Like so. Now we're going to do the back one. And again, we're going to keep our finger on it, on the bottom, so we can feel when we get flush to the plate. And this one's got a bent, a slight bit of a bend to it. But I've seen that a lot from cheaper Chinese knockoffs. So we're not going to go and worry about it too much. So there we go. We got that up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to softly tap it and get it to separate, just like that. So now what we can do is lift the lid just enough to spray inside, but not enough to drop it out of everything. Like so. And sometimes you can actually do this on the tractor while it's in the field. I've had luck with it in the past. And we'll lift that up. As you can see, that PB blaster has gotten everywhere in there. And we'll move it around a bit. Make sure it's nice and happy. Grab the vice grips and the channels. Oh, that's much better. I can almost move it by hand now. Yep, there we go. I can move it by hand. There it goes. Nice. Nice. Working smooth. Let's tighten this back down so that we don't get ahead of ourselves. And then we'll see if she'll benchtop press. Here we go for a benchtop test. 3, 2, 1. Golden. Alright, starter cleaned up. Choke is on. We haven't tried anything else other than giving it a booster pack. Alright, who says we give it some gas in the carb? Now, that coil is pretty icky. It wasn't chewed all the way through to the center wire, so I put some liquid electrical tape on it just to see if we can fire this thing. Yep, we're going to go and rip out all of that gas and see what happens after that. Oh, I thought I was going to go. Yeah, just not drawing any gas into the carb. So we'll pop this off and we'll see if it's actually doing anything. This carb is definitely not original. I can tell from the triangular cuts to the gasket screw holes that this is a Chinese knockoff. It's also got fake markings on it. But let's see what we got inside here. These are the ones with all the plasticky junk on the inside. Oh, there we go. It looks beautiful. And as you can see, that Venturi is filled. That's never going to flow. Alright, we'll see what we can do to clean it up and see if it'll fire later. Alright, we got a Gatorade bottle worth of gas. We got a shoddy carb rebuild. Give it some choke and see what happens. Alright, a little bit of go-go juice. And try again. Crummy carburetor rebuild take 2. I messed up. One thing I forgot to do was check and make sure this line was flowing. When I went to take this off to swap another one on, I noticed this didn't have any gas whatsoever coming into it. Kind of hard to run if it doesn't get any gas. It ended up with an air bubble lock in here, so we're going to try it again. When I picked up this machine, it came with the story that the reason that he stopped using it was because he put a belt on and it just kept smoking belts. And this is why it is you should always check your idlers. Inside and underneath here across this edge is wedged the original belt. It's down in there holding that idler in place. It was never going to go anywhere no matter what you did to it. It is stuck solid. The other thing is, this will be the end of this video because this deck is going to take days worth of repair. There's a mount here broken, a mount here broken, the upper mount here is broken, the upper mount here is broken, and to top it off, this one right here is broken, along with this one being broken. And let's face it, it's a 38-inch cutting, 13 horsepower weed eater, and it's just not worth throwing all the money into fixing the deck, most likely. If you guys would really like, I'll post a picture of this deck with a pole in the community tab saying fix or don't fix. You guys can vote on it. If you want me to rebuild it, I will. We'll see if we can stuff it in underneath this thing. That's quite a bit of money to spend on a 38-inch deck, but if that's what you guys want to see, we'll do it. One last note while you're here. If you look down in the description of this video, you're going to see that I've included all kinds of different parts for this particular machine in case you found this through a YouTube search. Feel free to go down, click on the Amazon links. If you need something, please purchase it through the link. It puts a little bit of money back in my pocket. Thank you very much for the support in the community, and have a good day.